What's up, y'all? I'm Dev.
And I'm the V Hitter, aka Mr. V.
And you're watching
Slim TV.
That's it.
I heard a door close. I'm looking out the window. Is it them? Nope, we're not doing that. I'm steady looking at my phone for a call or a text. We're not doing that. Maybe I should drive by their job or by their home. Hold up, we're not doing
you recording?
that. I keep moving too fast. I'm so alone.
You don't have to stop me. What's up? What's up, y'all? This is Slim TV, sponsored by Ace Entertainment. I'm your host, Dev, and today we got a special guest in the building.
It's your boy, the V Hitter, aka Mr. V.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you. Let's jump right into this interview.
All right.
So, first question: what drew you into music?
Well, I'm originally a 1980s hip hop New York rapper. So before I became a rapper, I was there in the 80s and just listening to the culture, the influence that the hip hoppers had on me. KRS-One, Rakim, EPMD, you know, Roxanne Shante, all them cats.
That's a good list. Very good list.
I liked the way their wordplay, their flow was. I liked the way their music made me feel like I was empowered and there was a message in it. So that kind of drew me in, first with the b-boying and the breaking and all of that stuff, the dancing. But then, like I said, the wordplay, the lyrics, it just kind of drew me in to make me start like writing my own lyrics.
Yeah, that's super dope. Mm-hmm. So what do you like about being an artist?
I enjoy being on the mic, and while I'm, spitting my lyrics and doing my thing with my music, the reaction I get from the crowd, they like really smiley, happy, moving, dancing, grooving with me.
Yeah.
The excitement, the energy. It's that energy.
Vibe check.
I'm giving it out and I'm getting it back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's dope. All right, so now we're going to talk about business. What do you feel like was the most challenging part of you launching your business venture?
Not having the money to have the equipment you need to do the job.
Yeah, money rule the world.
Yeah, so just not having that capital. And, most of us, when we try to start businesses, don't have A1 credit to get the loans.
Right.
So, it's more of stepping out there on faith. I found a company, a white company that didn't know me from anywhere, and they sold equipment. And I showed him the list of yards that I have and showed him the equipment I had. And I told him, this list that I have, this is guaranteed money. If you let me pay, finance the money, pay you off the books, I will be able to pay you back. I promise. That's my word.
Right.
And I know you don't know me from anywhere. So he took a chance on me and let me put like $1,000 down on one of a $5,000 mower.
Okay.
That was used because it's 10,000 new. So
right.
Yeah, just stepping out there on faith. God had him in my path to get me to where I'm at now with the good credit where now I can finance the mowers I want.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I can only aspire to be something like that. That's pretty dope, man.
Word.
A lot of people out here now don't really take a chance on people because, the word's not pretty much worth nothing. So it's good to see that, somebody can benefit off of that. So what does a typical day in the life of an entrepreneur look like for you?
Getting up early as possible because you got a whole lot of stuff to get done in one day.
Define early.
I usually try to get up around 5:45.
Okay.
No later than 6.
So how often do you get up at 5:45, no later than 6? Are you pretty consistent with that schedule?
Oh, you have to be. Yes, definitely. Mostly Monday through Friday. I try to work, do my nonprofit stuff or do family stuff on, Saturday and Sunday, catch up on other stuff, administrative stuff. But during the weekday, Monday through Friday, that's a hustle.
Right.
Getting up early. And just, I'm excited to go to work because I'm working for myself. There's no cap on what I can make. And I'm a people person. And I love working with people. I love dazzling the customers, looking at what they got, whether the house is dirty and needs to be power washed or the yard has no grass and I'm going to establish pretty green grass, or like I said, with the house, getting rid of the mold and brighten everything up, just blowing their mind. That's what makes me want to get up every day.
You got a lot of clientele?
Definitely. It's been 7 years. I got a lot of repeat customers. They give me referrals, and then I'm the stop sign bandit. I got my signs on the stop signs all over the place. So I get calls from new customers as well. So
that's not, man. So I got to ask you this. How do you stay motivated through tough times?
Good question. I believe that has to do with your foundation.
Can you elaborate when you say foundation? A lot of people don't really know what the basis of that word means.
Excellent.
In the context that's used in.
Gotcha. So when I say your foundation, I'm referring to like your relationship with God.
Okay.
Trusting him, like you've been through stuff and you counted on him to deliver you from it, and he has. And then you go on to the next thing, and then he delivers from you. So, so it's a cycle.
Never ending path, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that foundation that I have with him helps me get through, the tough times. Because if he did it, I just remember if he did it for me then,
he'll do it for you now.
He'll do it again.
And I want to clear this up. He's not talking about everybody that, should put their faith in God. You just put your faith into your higher power. All right, man. So let me ask you this. What advice would you give to an aspiring artist looking to break into the industry?
Okay. What I would recommend is, number one, you be yourself.
Okay.
Don't rap about something that is not you. I would recommend, being real about what you're talking about. And of course, you got to figure out your demographics, like what type of audience are you trying to captivate. But also, originality is everything. Being original, not trying to sound like anybody else, not trying to tell nobody else's story. Tell your story. Give people a chance to connect with you. Give people a chance to identify with you, based on what you've been through. Just tell your story.
Right.
So
how do you manage work with your personal life?
Very tough. As much as, we say we put our family first, work dominates.
Yeah.
Work dictates to me, what I'm gonna do. And it takes all of my time.
Pay the bills.
You have to have a balance, but number one, my work is seasonal, and then everybody is waiting for the weather to break and be warm up, and then that's when all the calls are coming in. It's like a flood. And what I try to do is I try to space it out during my dead time between November and March, and I try to reach out to people and say, hey, I can take care of you now, but I'm gonna wait till it gets warm, and it's tough. And my wife too, she got her job, her hustle, and all that. But we definitely try to get our time in.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like, having a balance between work and, your physical life outside of work is very important, because, your support system, your village is pretty much going to take care of you when you feel like you can't take care of you.
Yeah.
That's just how I look at it. Me being the type of man I am, me and my girlfriend, we always try to prioritize our time together.
Okay.
Because we might not get as much. During the week it's a little bit hectic because we work all the time. So it's actually good to have a nice balance between work and, your life outside of work. Because if you're not taking care of you, you're not going to be able to do your job effectively.
Anyway, facts.
So tell me what it's like to run a nonprofit.
You're always saying, can you donate?
Yeah.
Give me. So a nonprofit is always asking. It's always receiving. It's a beautiful thing because it gives other people an opportunity to give, and it gives you an opportunity to show them what their money can do, according to whatever your mission statement is. But running a nonprofit is very time consuming. It's like a newborn that constantly needs nourishment.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's a beautiful thing also because people get to come together and they know they're not getting paid.
Right, yeah.
And they're all coming together for one common goal.
That's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm. Like with my nonprofit, we work with teenagers.
Right.
So I have the teenagers, we come together and they're the ones doing the work. And of course, like even right now, we got a GoFundMe going on where we're trying to raise money for us to go to Ohio to perform our Black History hip hop music for a descendant of John T. Ward from back in 1881.
Okay.
So yeah, so people are giving, and this would be our first trip actually going out of town. I believe this would be the first trip of many where we can travel, the states and eventually the country performing our Black History hip hop music.
So that'll take me to my next question. What do you hope people take from your body of work as far as music is concerned?
That's a good question. Basically, life skills, encouragement, encouraging people to not settle for however they came up, whatever poverty, if they were poverty stricken, just to come up and
teach them to
be
go get
better. Yeah, teach them go get it. Teach them, either be an entrepreneur or further that education. And go to school and
education. That's important.
Get that career.
Yeah.
Just sky's the limit. Just no cap. You know, that's why I try to encourage people through my music. I label my music inspirational hip hop, and because I'm always encouraging people to do greater by telling them my story.
Right.
About how I was always working somewhere and being fired because of my personality stands out and I'm misunderstood and I have to be working for myself.
Right.
In order, I just don't fit the mold of these companies. Because of my sense of humor and the way I like to work and play and my energy. They could some companies consider it inappropriate behavior.
Yeah.
So I get to make my own rules by being my own boss.
That's
and I
tough.
Create my own environment and atmosphere.
All right, y'all. Last question. Mm-hmm. So I gotta ask, what's next for you?
Oh, okay. What's next? So I'm excited to announce that we released a domestic violence music video and single called We're Not Doing That. You can check that out on our YouTube channel, which is Dynasty Music Live. And also I just dropped an album called Bullspit. It's on all digital media platforms.
It's dope.
Yeah, thank you for the...
We listened to it while we were stuck in traffic. Hey, it's some pretty powerful stuff in there, man. I like the message behind it, and it's the beat selection pretty crazy too. Y'all make sure y'all get out a listen.
Word. I hope y'all rock with it. Yup, it's called Bullspit. It's on all digital media platforms. For the old heads, it's on Pandora. For the young at heart, it's on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify. It's on YouTube Music. It's on all of that. So that's called Bullspit. It's an album, and the domestic violence song is on there.
Okay.
And just so you know, I'm working on a 2026 throwback mixtape. So that's coming up for 2026 where we're bringing back that original boom bap, that original, where we articulate our words clearly, we don't slur our words, and we're actually teaching messages in the song, wordplay, metaphors, similes, all that. Back to the original state.
Figurative language.
Figurative language.
Some of y'all who don't know.
I like that.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first, man. Y'all just stay tuned for what we got coming.
Take heed. Indeed, you ain't nobody's doormat.